What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for baby. Let me just tell y'all this. If the upload don't come up at the regular time that it's supposed to, I don't know what's been going on with YouTube for the past 2 days, okay? I've been trying to upload yesterday and today. Bitch, it took over 2 hours, over 3 hours to fucking upload. And it's never been like that, and I don't know what's been going on, and somebody else told me that they've been having issues as well, and it literally just happened. So if y'all see this later than what y'all normally do, just know that I was trying to upload the bitch the way that I supposed to, and it's out of my hand. It ain't my internet connection, it ain't the browsers, because I tried 3 different browsers, and it just, bitch, YouTube. Any fucking way. What is this? Married to Medicine, Season 8, Episode 16, Jekyll Island, Part 2, the finale of this season. Okay, I think we got a 3-part freaking reunion. Bitch, for what? Okay, listen, I just wanted to see the reunion so that they can reveal whether or not Contessa and Scott got a divorce, okay? Because in the little preview for it, it said that, you know, I think she filed or if she's going to file or something like that. But we don't know exactly which one it is. And, you know, of course, Scott was mad, bitch. He came out there on the set. It wasn't even about him. He came out there on the set, you know, like, what's up? You know, I was like, Scott, you should have saw the shit coming, bitch. Okay, I'm just saying, nigga. You should have saw it coming. But anyway, let's just get into this episode. So we started off, the girls is at the island, you know. Jackie wasn't here for that bullshit that happened at the end of the dinner. Okay, she said we ain't finna get into that shit. Y'all ain't finna overcharge me for this stuff. Let's get the fuck up out of here. So we the next day, we got Heavily and Quiet down there at the you know, the bar of the hotel that they at. And then Anila comes down there. Hey y'all, we about to get the party started. And then we got Toya and Lisa Nicole up there in the room, and it was like, girl, you know, you ain't gonna be that fun or whatever, because you the one that don't want to drink and all that shit, bitch. Okay, girl, listen, Anila ain't had fun. Like, this bitch really started some shit with you last night. I ain't seen the bitch have fun ever since she been here, and she only been here a goddamn day. Meanwhile, Anila down there at the bar having fun with Heavily and Quiet. Okay, what this bitch do? Let me just tell you this. I don't believe in doing shit like this because shit can come back, even though, like, bitch, if you owe me money, give it to me in my hand. Now, Cash App that bitch, put it in my bank, Zelle, you know, whatever you gotta do. Bitch, at this point, you know, Anila being a little salty, okay? She being a little salty, and I understand, because I've been through situations where, you know, you give somebody some money or you do something. Well, I've been in a situation where I loaned somebody some money and we had a falling out, and the bitch thought she wasn't gonna give me my money, and I hounded that hoe until she gave me my money, and then I said, fuck you after that. But at this particular point, you know, it lies on both, the responsibility fell on both Anila and Lisa Nicole, okay? Lisa Nicole, you heard that, you know, she said that you was supposed to pay her whatever. They got it on footage, whatever. Regardless of whatever you thought, that's what you heard. That's what we got, okay? Anila, you should have sent the invoice. That's how business people do business, especially when you're an entrepreneur, you're independent and self-employed. You know, that's how you do business, okay? You have to keep that shit, especially for your taxes and stuff like that. Meanwhile, you know, she want to bring all the girls, get them a whole bunch of drinking liquor to Lisa Nicole room. Bitch, let me tell you something. Anila, you would have got your ass fucked up. I'm sorry, okay? Listen, Lisa Nicole deserved it because I don't like her. I just never really liked her, so that's what it is. But at the same goddamn time, if she was to whoop your ass, she was to whoop your ass, okay? That bill came out to $595, okay? And I think the bill that she did for them bloggings or whatever was like $600. So shit, she said we gonna get $600 worth of shit, and that's plus tip up on that bitch. Okay, she said she went to the front door, the front desk, and got Lisa Nicole's room 103, and then said send that bill up there to them. Meanwhile, so the girls are going to separate. We got Jackie and Simone and Anila, and Quiet was supposed to go and take a tour around Jekyll Island. Quiet couldn't come because at this point, I don't know if Quiet was throwing up sick or whatever, or if the baby girl just had to poo-poo, okay? Like, her stomach was fucked up either way. The shit was coming out of one of those two ends, okay? Because she said she was spending the day on a porcelain toilet. Trust and believe, I know that, all right? Let me tell y'all this, and I hate to put this out here. That is one, it's probably going to be too much information, but if you have ever gotten a gallbladder surgery removal, Baby, when y'all told me that shit about you gonna be on the toilet, bitch, baby, I am so tired. I am so tired. Like, every time I eat something, it don't matter what it is. And I don't eat that, you know, like I used to back in the day or whatever, because I switched it up. Bitch, it could be the most healthiest shit, and it's gonna come right back out. It's gonna come right back out with a goddamn vengeance, and I just hate it. That is my number one drawback of this goddamn surgery, bitch. But I needed the hoe. But goddamn, okay? Like, what? What? Bitch. And my stomach be hurt. Girl, it's a mess. A mess. Y'all told me it was gonna happen. I ain't believe y'all, but shit, I'm living that stuff. No pun intended. Meanwhile, you got Toya, Toya, Heavenly, and Carrie, and Lisa Nicole, and Contessa, they going to the shrimp boat, okay? They going shrimping and stuff like that. They not gonna cook the shrimps or whatever. They gonna throw the shit back in the ocean. I said, bitch, what? We gonna throw it back. First of all, them shrimps look good. Put some little seasoning on there and throw it on the goddamn grill and let us eat them, bitch. Devein them hoes first and let us eat them, bitch. I was with Carrie. She was like, they look so delicious, okay? And I was like, yes, girl, that's one thing I will agree with you. You know, they was talking about the little seagulls or whatever. They the laughing gulls. They sound like they little cackling or whatever. They said, Carrie said, Heavenly, why don't you go ahead and laugh or whatever? And when they played that montage of Heavenly laughing, bitch, that shit made me fall the fuck out, because I said that is exactly what she sound like. And you know, when they was getting on the boat and Carrie had her little bikini top on and it was a you know, the British flag, Heavenly gonna say, is that the Confederate flag? I said, bitch, you know, Carrie had to show her, listen, could y'all tell her, get her geography up, bitch, you need to get up out of Atlanta, okay, because, bitch, this is the British flag, all right, this is with the Union. I said, all right, girl, if that's what you want, that's what you want. They was having a cool time. Then we get over there to Anila and Jackie and Simone. It just felt like the old lady tour, okay, old lady tour, let's get reconnected. But, you know, truth be told, I probably would have went with Jackie and Simone, because, baby, I don't do water like that, because the way my stomach set up, okay, there you go. You know what I'm saying? And they touching all on the shit. When they touched that crab, bitch, I would have said hell the fuck nah. And then that little stingray, bitch, it's a texture thing for me. I just don't like when you serve me my crabs, I'll probably touch the crab legs or whatever, but I don't want to touch the body. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to touch that. I don't want to pop it open. That's probably why I don't eat crawfish, because I don't want to touch it. I want to crush it. If you don't pop it open for me, bitch, I just ain't gonna touch it. It's just gonna sit there. Y'all may say it's good as fuck, but bitch, take it out for me and let me eat it that way, okay? Because I'm not gonna touch that shit. Anyway, I'm just particular like that. Meanwhile, you know, Jackie and you know, Simone, they're looking at stuff, and you know, they get to a point where they start walking or whatever, talking to Anila about her friendship. Did she ever talk to Toya? She was like, I haven't, or whatever. And Jackie and them was just like, you have to tell the girl at this point, if you don't want the friendship no more, that the friendship no longer serves you. And then Simone said, Jackie did that to me. She said the friendship no longer served her. And then Jackie said, bitch, you did the same thing to me. And then they got into this little friendly banter and was like, you know, we ain't never get to fight. And Jackie was like, bitch, you want to fucking fight? They started taking their stuff off and they was rolling around on the floor. It was Simone and Jackie again. And I was so glad. It was such a 180 turn, and maybe going back to a 360 to what they used to be in the past, but a 180 turn from what we saw in the beginning of the episode or the season. Now they're cool. They're on better terms, and I love to see it. So, later on that night, the men come, okay? Now, see, Contessa, you know, she was talking to the other girl. She was like, you know, I think she said to Heavenly, because they rode up in the car when they went to go shrimping or whatever. It was like, you know, Scott's supposed to be coming down here. They said he's supposed to. They invited him or whatever. I don't think he know what he coming down here for, but, you know, he's supposed to be coming down here. And, you know, she just saying exactly how he may feel with the fact that they know what's going on in their relationship. And, baby, let me just say this. If they get a divorce, I understand why. We'll get to it in a second. But everybody get there. You know, that shit was funny when Cecil came up in that room and saw Simone laying in that bed. And he said, damn, is you dead or what? She said, bitch, I got to be nice so we get ready or whatever. Be prepared, okay? But no, everybody's getting dressed and they getting ready for the dinners and stuff like that. Eugene couldn't make it, and Diddy couldn't make it either, Dr. Damon. So, you know, everybody else is getting ready, or Karen, Anila's husband didn't make it. And so at this point, they all get out and they go down to have dinner. I'm just fast forwarding to the good part, bitch. Okay? Now, Quad was saying, I understand that, you know, Scott may feel a type of way if we bring this up to him, because when she was in her relationship with Dr. Gregory, he felt the way. He didn't like the fact that, you know, she was telling the girls her business or whatever, trying to get her girlfriends, you know, advice and stuff like that. But you got to understand that it's not about... Oh, hold on. I'll call you back. I'm sorry. She said it's not about how you look. It's about what is really going on. Like, it shouldn't matter about how you look. You know what I'm saying? What you are being perceived as. You have to hear what the person is saying. Okay? And that's all that Contessa wants. So when they get down to the dinner, and at this point, you know, before this, all the men were talking about how they gonna bring this out or whatever, especially Cecil, you know, because Simone was thanking him about how he got, you know, Scott to come down there or whatever. And we thinking that they gonna ease it on in. Why the hell we thought that? Or at least I thought that shit. Bitch, they sat down at the table and not even a drink was served yet. Curtis said, damn, we can't get a drink yet. The man can't have the first drink yet. And, you know, that was cute what Quad said about Scott. It was like, damn, Scott, you looking good. You looking palm sharp. That was nice. That's so country. But anyway, they sit down at the table and they must have been there for like a few seconds, maybe editing or whatever. But all of a sudden, Heavenly was like, okay, well, Scott, we glad you showed up. And he was like, okay, you know, I'm glad I showed up too. What's up? You know what I'm saying? We was like, no, we just got some questions or whatever, you know, because Contessa been telling us some shit that's been going on and all this shit. And, you know, of course, right off the back, he gets on the defense, okay? And it's understandable. And also, I feel like he got on the defense because he knows that he's on some bullshit. Okay? He's on some other bullshit. And what really struck me the whole time, because somebody in my comments, and there was a few of y'all that was in the comments that says, and I don't want to put this out there about this man because I don't know what's going on in this person, these people's relationship, but it's the perception that you put out there. And the body language, Contessa was so nervous and so fucking scared. Mama was sitting there trying to hold back tears and she was trembling. Some of y'all said in the comments, it looks as though Scott can be abusive. Allegedly. I would say more so controlling, manipulative. I don't say physical abuse. I don't think that's going on at all. Let's strike that out. But there are different other signs of it. He can be controlling, emotionally controlling, you know, psychologically controlling. That's what it seemed like, okay? Like, it just, you know, she was really scared to say something to her man about this. Like, she was scared even telling Heavenly about it. And I noticed that. And I understand because you don't know how you're going to react. But, baby, I ain't finna be sitting there trembling if I know what I feel, okay? And they was just trying to tell him, you know, he was like, you can't tell me what's going on in my relationship. I got her, she got me, and it is what it is or whatever. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Because I think they was like, y'all in dire need of making up, or, you know, she's in dire need. He was like, I ain't in no dire need. How you gonna tell me what's going on in my relationship? I know what's going on with her. And they was like, okay, well, you may not feel like you're in dire need of some stuff to happen, but this is what she's feeling, okay? You know, I talk to her, and, you know, we talk all the time or whatever. He got so defensive, and it's understandable because y'all putting him on the spot in front of everybody. So yeah, it's understandable to get a little bit defensive, but to me it felt like he was also defensive because he knew he was getting called out on his bullshit, okay? And the way Contessa didn't even say anything, she just started to cry. And when that lip trembled, I just really felt so bad for Contessa. And when he was like, come on, like, you got me right, you understand that, right? And he get up and he go over there to her and she gets up. I'm so sorry. And then I said, what? I don't want to be in a relationship like that. Okay, and I understand relationships have problems or whatever, but I just didn't like the way that that looked. That just really wasn't a good look. And I understand he was caught off guard, but you know, it just seems like this is how they beat. Sometimes when they get like this is what we saw when they got into an argument and then Contessa started crying and stuff like that. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, I just feel real bad. Am I projecting or do y'all see where I'm coming from? What was your take on her whole reaction and his reaction? Like I said, it's understandable because he was caught off guard, but at the same time, I just didn't like it. Contessa leaves, you know, she's apologizing to the girls for getting them involved, and she's saying I'm sorry to him, and you know, he was like, it's okay, it's cool, I got this, whatever. So they leave. You know, Contessa don't want to go back to the group. Bitch, she's embarrassed, okay? And exactly what I was feeling, you know, quiet in there, they was like, I ain't never seen Contessa like that. It was like she's a shell of herself, like she was so raw, like, you know, she was so timid and meek around her husband. And the fact that they asked him this question and he never answered, that's what they said. And it was like she was trying to answer the question, you know, because they was asking her how does she feel or whatever, and she good. No, she ain't got to answer nothing. He was talking for her, and they picked up on that. They didn't like that either. But then you got Cecil and you know, Curtis. Like, I mean, on the one hand, he probably was defensive because he, you know, was caught off guard. That's what he was. And that's what it is. And then Cecil talk about something, but we only know one opinion. We can't, you know, we only know one side, so we can't really form an opinion. Fuck that. He just showed us all his hand. Okay. Granted, if I'm going to be on the defense, I'm still going to stand there in my shit. Okay. If I didn't do anything wrong, and if we're just having regular marriage problems and I'm not doing nothing wrong, it's just a miscommunication, you know, stuff like that. Sometimes we lose the connection or whatever. If it's something like that, okay, I'm gonna stand in it and say, you know, we can talk a little bit more or whatever, and I can hear out what she's trying to say. I'm not finna get up and tell her to get up so I can stop hearing what everybody else gonna say, because they're gonna call me out on my bullshit. It makes you look so fucking suspicious at this point, and you don't want people to look at you suspicious. Like, that's the whole point. Granted, again, I get you were caught off guard, but it just doesn't look right. And then y'all go back up to the hotel. You got the men down there talking, and then at this point, Quiet put it out there. He talking about he got a life coach for 7 months, and she's a woman, and he don't pay her. Okay, he's talking about the girl, you know, Contessa saying that the kids going around saying that daddy got a girlfriend and all this stuff. The men were baffled by this. They never heard this. Mind you, Cecil said in a confession when he was sitting there with Simone. Now, I never heard nothing about no life coach. When we was down in the boom boom room in the bar or whatever, when he came over to the crib, ain't no telling how long that was, I asked him, did you have a life coach? Were you looking into getting anything like that? He said no, okay? And I remember that episode. So it really wasn't, it was within the time that he told Contessa, yes, he did. Meanwhile, you know, they sitting there talking about the whole thing, and Choir was like, you know, um, you know, Toya had got some message or whatever from Eugene complimenting her how she looked, and Cecil joking, talking about something, are you sure that's Eugene or his life coach? You know, and of course, you know, they start talking about what's cheating, emotional cheating and stuff like that. And that is real. That is real, regardless of if you're having a conversation and you having feelings, regardless of if you haven't done anything physical, there is a such thing as emotional cheating, okay? And sometimes people, I honestly feel like that's worse than physical cheating. You know, in certain cases, that is worse than physical cheating, because your feelings are all the way involved. Some people can go out and fuck with no feelings and no meaning, but then you get your emotions involved. You damn near love this person. You thinking about this person. You wanted to be with this person and all this stuff, but you still got your spouse and your lover right here. You know, that's bad. That's a fucked up territory to be. Meanwhile, Heavenly and Quiet go up there to contestant room, okay, and Scott, and I was surprised that he let them in, okay? I was surprised that he let them in. He let them in. Contessa was in the back doing what she was doing, and they was like, girl, you okay? She was like, and she still was looking like, it's like she's telling him one thing, but she's showing her true emotions to her friends. And it's almost like she's scared to fully put it out there what's going on. And in that confession, she was like, it's a lack of fucking trust. You know, that's what it is, a lack of trust. And we can clearly see that, you know. So they get to talking, and the lady said, Scott, come on up in here. And, you know, they talking about what's going on, and they apologizing for just putting him on the spot like that, but telling him, this is what was happening. This is what Contessa has been telling us. And this comes with the, you know, rocky territory, like, you borderline territory of whether or not, you know, you should tell your friends what's going on and get your friends involved, your friends and family involved in your relationship, or you shouldn't. Okay, because sometimes it can make things worse, and then when y'all fix things, it's like, should we still feel the same way about this person for hurting you or whatever, but y'all didn't fix things and I didn't got over it, but my family and my friends haven't, because they seen how bitch is raining. They see how down and out I am and everything. Girl, I didn't know it was supposed to rain today. But anyway, you know, and they can make the situation worse, but sometimes they can help the situation and get you clarity or whatever. But at the same time, Scott was still on some bullshit. He was lying. That man said, I don't have a life coach that is a woman. I have a life coach that is a man, and his name is Kevin Johnson. Quad said that motherfucker is lying. That sounds like some shit that he just made it up, okay? He is lying because the truth hurts worse than what it is. He don't want the truth to get out there, okay? And then they said the thing about the girlfriend. He really didn't respond to that. And I'm just like looking at his actions, looking at his body language or whatever, and I'm just like, sir, you know, and they tried to come at him, correct or whatever, make him feel a little bit comfortable, apologize and all this stuff, but at the same time, Scott is full of shit, you know. And when Scott got up and left, you know, they was talking to Contessa, and, you know, she basically like, I mean, at this point, I don't know, because her and Heavenly was texting at the table before they went up there. She was like, honestly, I don't know. And it was like, if you want to keep the marriage or whatever, you have to fix the issue. And Scott was like, y'all need to stop talking about this subject. And Heavenly said, well, he basically told us to get the fuck out, so we gonna leave at this point. And I was like, that's crazy. This relationship is literally imploding. And truth be told, like everybody has said, Scott still resents Contessa for leaving to go to that school last season. That's what it is. That's all where it's coming from. Plus whatever else was going on, but that is a big part of it. That man was not here for it. And I will check and see what the fuck he was doing then, because ain't no telling when this shit really started and if it was somebody else. I'm just saying, I'm not putting it out there, but I'm just saying. So it's the next day. You got Quad, I think, was talking to was it Quad? Yeah, Quad was talking to Jackie, I believe. Either way, one of them was talking to Jackie. Quad or Heaven was talking to Jackie about what was going on and No. It was Heavenly that was talking to Jackie, you know, about how they went down there and they was talking to him, and, you know, how he basically just pulled a Donald Trump and switched up his whole story. My eyes, girl, I got bags under my eyes, got to get some sleep. And all that shit. And that's what it was, okay? That was like, I'm surprised that he let them up in the room and everything. But at the same time, Scott is on this bullshit, okay? And then, you know, Carrie had went over there to Quad. Or was it Toya? Carrie went over there to Toya. And probably Quad. Either way, she was with Toya for sure. And she had went over there and she basically told him, listen, and she just had this solemn look on her face. It was real puzzling, real concerned, you know. She was just very dramatic. But at the same time, I would be concerned too, because if I cared about somebody, I'd be concerned about him. Basically, she was like, she's room next door to Contessa. And later on that night, all she heard, she said she can hear through the walls or whatever because they paper thin. And all she can hear was Contessa hollering at him and screaming at him and all that shit about, you know, why these women, why you asking for pictures from women, naked pictures from women, and you responding to them, and, you know, where did you get these pictures from and all this stuff. And, you know, he basically saying, I don't know how they got there, whatever, they just popped up and all this shit. Bitch, you could have came up with a better lie than that. And I said, see, that's did it right there, okay? That did it for me right right there, bitch. Scott, you just, and it just made me mad because, and I understand where the men are coming from when they sat down at the bar with Scott, because Toya and Carrie went over there to talk to Contessa. Contessa didn't want the producers up in there. And she was just basically like, I ain't finna be begging for shit, okay? This ain't the type of love that I want, and I'm not finna be begging for the type of love that I want, okay? And, you know, you could tell that she's at her ends rope. When she was in that confessional and they was talking and talking to Scott about them pictures being on his phone and stuff like that or whatever, you know, I mean, people send me stuff, I don't know why, but I didn't say nothing back or whatever. And Contessa was just literally standing there like this. Mama was blanked out. She was checked out. She was checked out. And when they asked Contessa about it, she said, I don't know nothing about that. You talking to him. That's his truth. Let him talk. Okay. And I said, see, that is, ooh, I can't believe it. Like, you know, the ones that we think are the good guys be the ones that be really fucking up. Like, Dr. David, don't you be doing no shit. Because I feel like Heavenly probably would kill your ass. Okay. I really feel like she probably take you out. Truth be told, he probably scared to do some shit. But he go down there to the bar with Cecil and Curtis, and they talking about it. And, you know, well, the women, they already formed their opinions, and the fact of the matter is they haven't even got to, you know, hear your side and all this stuff. What is it? What side is it? Okay, and I understand what they saying, but I'm just like, he wasn't sitting there enough to get his side put out. They were, when Heavenly, regardless of if they, you know, bombarded him or caught him off guard, instead of just sitting in it, you got up and left. You didn't defend yourself. You didn't defend yourself. You got up and left. That was your opportunity to say your side. Okay, you know how this group work. Y'all do that shit up in group settings and shit like that. So, no, you don't do that. Like, come on, guys. Okay, and mind you, both of them went through their shit. Cecil, you had a situation with Simone where you was accused of possibly doing something with a friend of yours of many years that kept on trying to get him between you and Simone's relationship. And that was part of why y'all was going through what y'all was going through. Why she couldn't trust you. Curtis, you a big ass cheater. Okay, we already fucking know you. All your shit was on the blog, and y'all sitting here talking about her. Well, let's just hear his girl. He gave up that when he got up off from the table. That was his opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, this is crazy. Poe Contessa, Poe Scott. Like, you know, we really thought Scott was a good one. But hey, I guess not. So, you know, they get ready to leave. And the biggest thing that happened on the last day was Lisa Nicole got that bill. He was like, you want to settle the bill for the room? She was like, what's the charges? He said, you want to take care of that $600 charge that went to your car? And she was like, bitch, what? You know, so she trying to figure it out. And then, of course, you know, it's alcohol and stuff like that. And she trying to figure out who did it because, you know, Lisa Nicole doesn't drink. And so when they found out that it was Anila, she was like, you know, you can give me that $600 back. Do you know that that's fraud or whatever? That's illegal. You know, we could talk to the cops and all that stuff. Anila ain't sweating it or whatever. Of course, Carrie had to get involved, you know, get Heavenly and them involved. It was whatever. It was funny to a certain extent because nobody gave a damn, you know. But they settled the bill. They get back home. They talk about what everybody doing. Simone and Cecil wanted to be empty nesters, but they can't because Miles is still there. You know, Jackie, and she's doing her podcasting. You know, sometimes she has Curtis on there. No topics is off limits. Toya, you know, and Eugene, I guess Eugene is working fewer hours, and, you know, they back to vacationing and doing stuff with the family and stuff like that. And they're also selling their house. And when they were asked about it, they said next topic. Okay. Anila finally got her home completed. $3 million, twice the budget that it was supposed to be. 14,000 square feet. Goddamn, bitch. Okay. I was like, shit. Like, bitch, I'm poor. I ain't doing it right. Maybe I need to give me maybe I need to answer one of these little DMs that be like, I'm looking for a sugar baby, bitch. You know, something ain't right. Okay. 14,000 square feet. Woo. Anyway, so she doing all that quiet claim. Her ass really is real. You know, Heavenly and her son, they still doing the real estate stuff, and everybody just cool. You know, that's basically what was going on. But that was, and Dr. Contessa and freaking Scott went on a family vacation or whatever. They posted shit on Instagram, making it seem like they all to the good. Everybody is confused. And at this point, to that question that I asked earlier about, you know, involving your friends and family into your issues, bitch, leave them out of it at this point after looking at this shit, because everybody confused bad. Now, y'all look, and you was talking like you was on the brink of fucking divorce, and now you out here kicking it. Happy birthday, Scott, to his 50-year-old birthday. You lay back on him, bitch. I know we be trying to work shit out before we completely decide to go ahead and take that next step of divorce or separation or whatever. But bitch, like they said, I think they like functionally dysfunctional. That's what it seemed like. But when they putting up fronts and airs, and they gonna drop the bomb at the goddamn reunion. It's a 3-part reunion. Bitch, to be quite honest, 2 would have did fine. An hour and 30 minutes would have been better, okay? We truly don't need 3 parts for this lackluster kind of season. The season really wasn't much, okay, to have 3 parts. What are we going to talk about? Well, Neela and Toya, okay? That could be for a couple of minutes. Jackie and Simone, okay? And then Scott and Contessa's whole thing, because that's practically what the whole season was about. And then Toya and Quad. That's it. Maybe a little bit of Nicole and Heavenly, but other than that, we ain't give a shit. But anyway, y'all tell me how y'all feel. I see y'all later. Peace.